Help it, man. This is real life that we're talking about. We're not talking about dingleberries and applesauce. It's real life.
And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that.
You do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
No.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. He wants to hang out with you next week, and I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f*** you.
Terrence Howard worked on my first film, Get Rich or Die Trying with me. He's a good friend of mine.
Just when it seemed like the Diddy drama couldn't get any crazier, boom, 50 Cent jumps into the chaos with a jaw-dropping claim. He says he may have actually saved actor Terrence Howard from getting dragged into Diddy's twisted inner circle. But hold up, it gets even wilder. Terrence Howard is finally breaking his silence, and he's not holding anything back. He's dropping names and calling out major industry figures, men who, according to him, never had the courage to say no to Diddy. Terrence claims these insiders were quick to trade their pride at those infamous FO parties, and that he barely escaped the madness himself, and here's where things really spiral. Sources say Diddy's team approached Terrence to be part of a docuseries. Did he say yes? According to whispers behind the scenes, Terrence and 50 Cent may have been plotting to expose everything. Now comes the million-dollar question. Who actually said yes to Diddy? Some huge names are being thrown around, and a few of your favorite rappers might be on that list. This story is spinning out of control. The real question now, does 50 Cent have the receipts ready for that explosive docuseries? And what really went down when Diddy allegedly tried to pull Terrence Howard into his secret world? Let's break it all down.
I'm always right. It's like when I'm right, and when I'm wrong, I could have been right, so I'm still right because I could have been wrong.
In case you missed it, Terrence Howard recently appeared on the PBD podcast, and he did not hold back. He opened up about how some major industry players willingly traded their integrity just to score invites to exclusive, high-level parties. But then, the conversation took a darker turn. Terrence dropped a bombshell, claiming that the same shady behavior was happening at Diddy's infamous gatherings. Yep, you heard that right. This is no longer just Hollywood gossip. It's starting to sound like the makings of a full-blown expose.
Do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy party.
Terrence also revealed that many celebrities didn't leave Diddy's parties the same way they arrived. When host Patrick Bet-David brought up Justin Bieber and hinted he might have been caught up in Diddy's world, Terrence didn't deny it. Instead, he nodded in agreement, saying, "You can see how some of these stars are still carrying the weight of what went down." He added that whatever happened at those parties left a lasting mark, and not the kind that fades with time.
That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there, because they get fluid, and next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
But Terrence didn't stop there. He dropped a serious bombshell. He claimed that Diddy actually made a move on him. According to Terrence, it all began innocently enough. Diddy reached out, saying he wanted help with acting. But then, things took a strange turn. Out of nowhere, Diddy shifted the conversation to Terrence's music. That's when Terrence's assistant stepped in and raised the alarm. Something felt off. Really off.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there, and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me. like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f you.
But here's the kicker. Diddy wasn't the only one making shady moves. Terrence revealed he had run-ins with other major producers who made strange behind-the-scenes offers. But he stood his ground. He made it clear he wouldn't sell himself out no matter how big the payday. According to Terrence, that decision cost him some massive Hollywood deals. He chose to keep it real, and he paid the price for it. 6. But Terrence wasn't about to fold, not in any sense of the word.
Be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in them.
The craziest part? Most celebrities are staying completely silent, acting like they've never even met Diddy. Only a few bold voices like 50 Cent and Cat Williams are actually speaking out. Everyone else is pretending they don't know a thing. Right now, Terrence is the only major star who's openly claimed that Diddy made a move on him. That's a bold stand, and people are definitely watching. And speaking of 50 Cent, he's recently dropped more details about his upcoming documentary on Diddy. When asked why he's one of the few willing to call things out, 50 kept it real and simply said, "It's simple."
You see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal.
Now Tyrese is chiming in too. He shared a clip from Terrence Howard's interview on Instagram with a cryptic caption, "No comment. I'm staying positive. God help us all." Meanwhile, 50 Cent's version of staying positive looks a lot different. He's using all this Diddy drama as fuel for his explosive Netflix documentary, which promises to uncover everything, and here's where it gets extra petty. A word on the street is that 50 has already reached out to Terrence Howard, asking if he'd be willing to appear in the doc and spill even more tea, especially about how Diddy allegedly tried to lure him into one of those infamous FO sessions.
Do it, right?
Yeah. He did it.
You've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, you know, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity talk that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that flippy shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
It's no surprise that 50 Cent wants Terrence Howard involved in his Did He Do It series. These two have real history. 50 has supported Terrence before, especially when he opened up about being scammed out of millions and blackballed by major studios. Both men have fought battles against the darker side of
When I say 50 Cent is unmatched, he is unmatched. His pettiness goes beyond anybody that has ever been petty in the hemisphere of pettyism in this damn universe. Child, 50 Cent made a bidding war off of Diddy Do It. Diddy Do It was bought by Netflix, baby. So this docuseries will be out about everything that has happened since Cassie has filed this lawsuit against Diddy. Leave 50 Cent out of everything because this man's pettiness is beyond compare.
Transformative.
Oh, check this out. I made $12,000 for doing Hustle and Flow. And then on top of it, what Paramount did, instead of putting my name as Terrence Howard performing the songs,
Right.
they put performed by DJ. Well, they own DJ. So guess what? The performance royalties went to Paramount. They went,
Wait a minute. They didn't go to Terrence Howard. They went to
$12,000. That's all I ever made from Hustle and Flow.